So one of the biggest reasons why we move the way we do is literally where the ball is being positioned and played from. We could go through many examples of almost every segment of the golf swing, foot and ankle, through hand and club power, for example, that connect back to where the ball is being positioned and played from. So when we look at movement, movement's very much controlled by two words: the idea of motivation and incentive. There must be a reason, there must be a motivation and an incentive for X, for example, to move the way it needs to do. So examples we've been actually used in cutting the 3D values, when the ball, say for example, is played excessively back. So again, back for one, may not be back for someone else. So we need to apply that own individual experience and our own individual meaning to this. Again, when the ball is played forward to one is not forward for someone else. But typically speaking, when that ball is played a long way back, what it doesn't encourage is that lovely kind of lateral glide of that pelvis, that kind of shift of that pelvis towards the target as we move in downswing. So in many ways, kind of how we move through the pelvis in downswing is that pelvis kind of backing up, that kind of trail side elevating, can actually be connected back to how we're kind of attempting to make that ball position work. So the GPS, the best brain, or the brain that we have is the kind of GPS system. When that ball's a long way back, if we know the ball's here and I'm here, there's no reason, there's no incentive that pelvis to glide left. So therefore we adapt how we move to kind of make that ball position work. Other examples also being, for example, players that experience that very early release of that club. So again, it's shown now by what's called the in-plane couple. So typically speaking, using those 3D values, what we often see in the most advanced, most established players is it first becomes a minus, a negative number, typically when the shaft is kind of horizontal or parallel in the downswing. That's kind of almost coarsely coupled with when they then start to actively slow the handle down to then release that club head into impact. So often when we say that very early, again, very coarsely speaking, very colloquial definition, early release in transition, when that minus number becomes almost minus in that almost initial phase in transition, that can also be connected back to when the ball's a long way back, we kind of move that way we do through hand and arm to kind of make the kind of ball position work. Vice versa again, when that ball is played excessively forwards, for example, that can then encourage then almost excessive amounts of kind of lateral shift in that pelvis to kind of in essence move that low point, you know, again, loosely speaking, a head off and in front of that ball as you kind of move into that downswing phase. So kind of looking at ball position can be one of the most disruptive, most influential, and also most helpful ways of exploring movement. And these are kind of two of many examples. So for example, if you're a player that really finds it challenging to kind of glide that pelvis, to shift that pelvis kind of, you know, laterally towards the target that rotates in downswing, or for example, you're a player that really experiences a very kind of active early delivery, early release of that club in transition, then just start to explore, almost initially play with that concept, the ball being played slightly further forwards, can actually encourage them more of that pelvis to glide in less than almost early release of that club. Equally so, if you're then someone that experiences, for example, then almost excessive shift in that pelvis and downswing, almost gets too much kind of that drag of that hand on the impact, almost then allow and play with it and explore to shifting the ball slightly further backwards may encourage you then almost to have less active shift and actually start to deliver that club slightly relatively earlier in that downswing phase. So ball position, hugely influential, can be very helpful as a way of incentivizing and motivating certain movements, can also be very disruptive, again, and encouraging very unwanted, very problematic movements. So exploring again, what's the best ball position for you based on the movements you're trying to encourage and also the movements you're trying to avoid, can be a very playful way of encouraging and also improving how you move and swing.